Okay, we're at the end of our week talking about kindness, and we're going to jump into Proverbs 3, verse 3 in the Amplified, and it says, "Do not let mercy and kindness and truth leave you. Instead, let them be qualities that define you." And we know earlier we talked in Colossians 3 on the first day about clothe yourself with compassion and kindness and humility and gentleness and all of that. So we want to really see how we don't let kindness leave us. Then let's look at the Good Samaritan. So we know the Good Samaritan, he already had some place to go. He was headed there for his own work, and he sees this guy beat up on the side of the road. So many other people have already passed him. They didn't help him. The Good Samaritan was from a totally different culture. These two guys would have never gotten along in real life. Okay? But he decides, I'm going to show kindness. So he goes, he takes care of him. We all know the story. He puts him in an inn. He pays for him to be taken care of. Where did he choose to draw that line? Who can I show kindness to? He said, whoever. And Jesus was saying, who is your neighbor? Well, your neighbor is that person who's right beside you, who's in need. And the Good Samaritan showed kindness to someone who was a total stranger, maybe even you would say an enemy, and someone who could never repay him. So that unknown stranger who would have never even spoken to the Good Samaritan, he showed kindness to him anyway. Yes. Wow. So we see that kindness is seeing the best in others, even when they don't see it in themselves. So now my question to you is, who might you be overlooking on a regular basis? You know, like maybe you walk around the other side of the road to kind of avoid seeing them. Maybe it's someone begging on the side of the road. Or maybe you tend to just overlook children. Yeah, they're kids. I don't have time for kids. I only talk to adults. Or maybe you overlook people who are a little older and you think, oh, I can't relate to them. They're so old. You know what? God doesn't want us to overlook anyone. No one. Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter how different than us they are. We should be showing kindness to anyone and everyone who comes across our path. So let's recap the whole week, all our kindness examples. So we see Ruth and Naomi. We should show kindness to our family and people who are not our family. We don't have any obligation at all. And then we see Ruth and Boaz, and we see Jesus as the kinsman redeemer and how we should use kindness to redeem people, rescue people who had no other way out. And then we see the widow and how she showed kindness to the man of God, that we honor and we show kindness to men and women of God, and that we keep our word. Like David, even when it's not convenient, we show kindness to whoever it is, whether they're important or whether they're not so important. We show kindness. And then like Joseph, we show kindness to people who have wronged us, especially the ones who deserve it the least. We show them kindness. And last of all, the Good Samaritan, people who don't deserve it, people who would have ignored us, strangers, people who can't repay us. We show them kindness. You know, Psalms 145 verse 13 in the Passion Translation is talking about God, and it says, you, God, you manifest yourself as kindness in all you do. And you know what? We know that God is love, but you know what? God also manifests himself as kindness. And we are supposed to be like him. So going the second mile in every situation, Jesus wants you to show kindness. It is a selfless action. So make kindness your lifestyle.